Here we go. I had to share with you guys. Anyways, what's up, everybody? Holy smokes! I told you guys I might be back tonight because there might be a lot that happened, and that's an understatement. What a flippin' day in the world! We got to talk about it. So I'm here because I just couldn't do it. I tried to rest tonight. But then my family is doing stuff. My wife's going to bed early. My kids are watching TV, and I was like, I just want to talk. So here I am. Whew, got a lot to talk about. Tonight, I'm going to go through why Thomas Massie is pissing me off. And I believe the man is just being a total fraud. And I'm going to explain how I mean that because it might not be what you think. But I'm going to cover all that because of what happened today in the vote, and I'm just done with it. We're going to talk about this whole Sean Ryan email from the CyberTruck, the guy who blew up the CyberTruck, and how it's likely fraudulent. And I can go through the details and why I believe it's kind of a nothing burger, but still very interesting because it's capturing the imaginations of everybody. And so we're going to cover that, go quickly through Mike Johnson's speakership, how he got voted in, why I don't think it's a bad thing. And then finally, a couple of small things like Trump's sentencing now being January 10th. I told you it's going to be a full show. We're going to move fast. But first, it's Friday night, and I want to give some shout outs to some people in this chat, these beautiful people showing up for me tonight. And hey, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't already, let's get to 100 likes tonight. Wago Waco, what's up? Numero uno. I believe that's your first one. Congrats, buddy. Congrats. You got a trophy. Donna M. Vince Feliz, Zian. Born Free. Candace, what's going on? Cassink. Candace thought Massie was a good guy. We're going to talk about it. Richie Rich. Darren Collins. Joe Scarpazza. Frank Anastasio. Kathy Shogun. Just Mike, what's up? Parker Toe Cramp Fro Girl. What's going on? What a nice surprise. You're welcome. Mantan, what is going on? Steve Bernard, Vinman. I like the Kamal. I got a funny Kamal clip for you today. Donkey in a China Shop. What's up? John Cresson, good evening and happy new year. Michael Tucker. Hey, easy there, Toe Cramp. Mark R, what's going on? Speedlock, you saw my twin on TV today at the Duke's Mayo Bowl? Really? Was he in the crowd or coaching or what? Gary Dish, Pat Chagoya, and Technology Donkey, what's going on? And Eric B in Kentucky, what is happening? All right. again, like, share, subscribe. Let's get right to everything. First off, we got to bring this up just to send our prayers and thoughts out. But as far as I know, there's really nothing on this yet. But guys, there's a shooting in Washington, D.C. going on right now. Or just happened. So that's horrific. And when was this posted? Just an hour ago. I haven't heard any other details. If anything pops up, I'll let you know. But it's getting crazy out there, people. So pray for the people in Washington, D.C. Nothing too serious, and that they are able to stop it, like in New York, where 10 people were shot, but I don't believe any of them were critically injured or dead. So I just saw that pop up as I was getting my research together for tonight. So anyways, let's make sure we send our prayers out to them. Thoughts and prayers for Washington, D.C. tonight. Hopefully nothing else gets too crazy. Okay, so Mike Johnson won the speakership today and had kind of a crazy story. The first round of votes, a couple Republicans didn't vote for him. Thomas Massie made his big deal that he was not going to vote, and then two others held off. Now listen, this was a dangerous game they were playing. Why is it dangerous? Because if they didn't have the votes and it continued on, it could have gotten to the point where when you're dealing with a majority this slim, unless everything is perfectly aligned, it was a bit possible just if one or two votes had to flip or keep staying out, and we could have had Hakeem Jeffries as Speaker of the House. So it wasn't a fun game. It just never should have happened the way it did today. It was pretty ridiculous. I'm not a Mike Johnson fan. You guys know that. That's not what we're here to talk about. But we have a speaker who, at the very least, will pretty much do whatever Trump tells him to do. His weakness in this case was terrible for us when the Democrats were in charge, can be decent for us now that Trump's going to be in charge, because he'll just keep getting stuff going forward. Okay. And that's what we want. Just him to gather the votes. The fact that they messed around with this is not okay. It just wasn't okay. It's too dangerous right now. We're 3 days away from a certification that must happen. And we, like I said, the mistake could have ended up with an absolute disaster. If Hakeem Jeffries was voted in as speaker because of their playing games, we don't even want to think about how much more miserable it would be the next few months as Trump is battling the House. That's not what we voted for. Mike Johnson will be fine, and if he's not, they can oust him. Okay, Trump will put the pressure on. I'm not worried about it in the slightest. So let's just be happy it's done. We can move forward. The Senate was seated today, so the Republicans now control all of Congress as of today. It's done. Hallelujah. I wanted to share this clip because it's really good from him. And truthfully, deep down, knowing the man's past, I do believe this is a guy who actually cares about America. I believe he's weak, but I don't believe he's a Dem. In disguise. I don't believe he's full on uniparty, anything like that. I just think he's weak. And sometimes that can look like you're something you're not. When he spoke in this today, it gave me hope and excitement that he's going to work with Trump, which I actually have no doubts about. But he's doing it also from a place of a little bit of conviction deep inside. And in my opinion, I feel like Mike Johnson's relieved Trump is now in charge, so he doesn't have to fight that pressure of the Democrats anymore from the Senate and from the presidency. But let's listen to Mike as he speaks.
And as heirs to the American Revolution and the descendants of patriots who defied tyranny, in the coming months, we are going to pass legislation to roll back the totalitarian fourth branch of government known as the administrative state. We're going to drastically cut back the size and scope of government. We're going to return the power back to the people. And in coordination with President...
That's exactly what we want to hear. We're going to scale back the government and turn it back to the people. That's great words. This is not him playing it safe with his words. It's not him playing politics. He's going all in on Trump in these words, and and the agenda we set forth from the people in our mandate election with his words. This is good stuff.
Trump and his administration, we are going to create a leaner, faster, and more efficient federal workforce. We need to do that.
He's not a good speaker, but his words do matter. Leaner, faster government. That means there's going to be lots of cuts, or at least they're going to try. And that's what we want. Watch when it pans out. You can tell the Democrats are not happy. This is not what they want to hear.
Our people do not deserve to be ruled by millions of bureaucrats they've never voted for, never met, and can never hold accountable.
Amen.
They deserve a government that is led by those they've elected to lead. That is how Article 1 is supposed to work. That was the idea of the Congress, and we will return to that principle. The American people have called on us to reject business as usual and throw out the status quo. We must and we will heed their call.
I love that. We must and we will heed their call. So I just wanted to share that with you. I thought that little clip was excellent. Again, Mike Johnson, you can hear it in his voice. Okay, he doesn't have that strength, that leader strength. But you know what? We don't need a leader. We don't need a leader. Trump is going to be the leader. J.D. Vance is going to be the best vice president of our lifetimes and maybe beyond. He is. We have our leaders. We have real leaders going to be taking over a lot of these bureaucracies, whether it's RFK, going so forth. We're going to have real leaders. We don't need Mike to be a leader. We need him to be the perfect manager. That's what we need. And I think Mike will be perfectly up to that task. So I'm not worried about it. Here's where it got fun. So those people messing around, they got to the point where even Trump was like, hey, I'm not doing this. Trump's out golfing. Here's the Republicans are playing games, stops his golf game, walks over, grabs a phone, serves his House Majority Whip. He whips them together, rescues the GOP from its own stupidity, resumed his game of golf, probably wondering why the F he has to do everything. Legend. Listen, the fact that Trump had to call in means that the House is messing around. He wasn't having any of it. And what happened? Well, three Republicans refused to vote for Mike Johnson the first round. So he didn't make it. It was 215 Republicans voted for Johnson and 215 Democrats voted for Jeffries. A tie vote, 3 abstained. You needed 217. You have to have the majority because somebody didn't show up. Had to have 217 in order to get him to be it. So Massie never changed his vote. Trump made these calls. Immediately, the other two holdouts changed their vote, and Mike got in on the first round because of it. So this shows you the power Trump has in the House, which is excellent. Excellent. That's what we want to see. We want to know that Trump is actually going to be fully in control of all this. So good stuff there. Let me catch up with your comments before I move on here. We're going to get into Massie here in just a second. Bulldogs lost. Well, you guys have had a lot of wins lately. You're good. We could have had Dollar Tree Obama. That's Hakeem Jeffries is Dollar Tree Obama with a lisp. It's like, and I was trying to get the vote for the House Speaker, and we just need to pass these laws and fight off right-wing extremism. That's what he sounds like. It's like a weaker Mike Tyson with Obama's cadence. It's hilarious. Yeah, his haircut's terrible too. Brett, Demo Rats would have had the vote done. Already opted spending more of our tax dollars in Ukraine. You're right. That's how the Democrats move. They do. Cindy Lou. Evening all, the guy who predicted many things that happened named Brandon's prediction regarding terrorists. He didn't predict many things. He got one prediction right. I think I know who you're talking about. If it's who I think it is, he's kind of a false prophet, but he got some stuff right. But his theology is really bad in my opinion, and so that's why I think a lot of his other stuff's just way off. I went looking into him after he called the Trump assassination thing. They're trying to do a terrorist attacks. Don't get me wrong. But I think a lot of them are going to be held off. Hobbs, the hard fart clip. Oh, I should play that, huh? All right, let me do the Jeffries fart clip. I didn't have it teed up, but we'll play it.
Possible. We will make the American dream possible. We will fight hard for the freedom to vote. The American dream possible. We will fight hard for the freedom.
Gonna make the American dream possible. We're gonna fight hard. Dollar Tree Obama, I'm telling you. Anyways, executive state is a problem. Exactly. Donkey, can't wait for them to drag Kamala into certified Trump win. It's coming. It's coming. So, listen, I sound like Garrison from South Park. Oh, don't say it. Speaking of Kamala, here's a clip from her. I was wrong. I have one more thing to play before we get into Massie. Here's Kamala opening up the session. This is the last time she gets to ever do this, because as vice president, you're head of the Senate. And so after she swore everybody in, Kamala stepped down, and now J.D. Vance is head of the Senate. That's how that works. So this is Kamala's leading of the Declaration of Independence on her very last time as Senate leader.
Join me in pledging allegiance to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the United States.
There it is. Did you guys hear it?
Pledge allegiance to the United States.
I pledge allegiance to the United, and then she catches herself. She hears it. She doesn't even know the Pledge of Allegiance. If the others hadn't been so loud, the other 100 senators saying the pledge correctly, she wouldn't have corrected herself, and she would have been fully exposed. This woman doesn't know the Declaration of Independence. She was going to be president. We dodged the biggest freaking nuclear bomb bullet in history by not getting her in. It's unbelievable what fakes these people are, what total frauds. Like I was gonna laugh when I played it, but now I'm just angry. Just how do you not know the pledge? It's just, it's disgusting. Brett says, did I see in Scranton they're getting rid of the Biden Expressway signs because he pardoned those judges sending kids for? Wow, well, good for them. Hopefully Biden's complete legacy is just completely erased forever. Yeah, it's just, wow. She looked to others to see where to turn to do the pledge. Did she? I didn't see that part. Let me see. She had to look to find the flag. Ah, she does right there. She's like, we gonna do this? Oh yeah, I gotta do the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the United States.
I pledge allegiance to the United. My God. Guys, say a thank you to Jesus right now that she's not our president. Just saying. Okay. Let's talk about Thomas Massie. Thomas Massie is well known for and beloved, especially by the libertarian, hardcore, financially strict people, Freedom Caucus types, which, listen, I used to be all in on those types. All in. Tea Party, that was my jam, because there was nobody else in our politics fighting for us, or so I thought. So they held up stuff, and that's when you do it. You put your feet down, you hold up Obamacare, you hold up tax rates, you hold up insanity from the Democrat side, or even if the Republicans are doing some crazy like the Patriot Act. That's where you step in with your ideals and you hold the line. Thomas Massie, libertarian, I love that about him. I love that he's one of the only senators or House reps, if not the only one, that isn't touched by AIPAC money. I love that. Okay, that's great. Nothing about his ideals do I dislike. I hate how these guys play games. Just like him, Chip Roy. Just so many of them have done this over the years. And now Thomas Massie is just in that heap of people who I just don't trust anymore. And he's just playing games. So he held out today, and because I can't vote for Johnson. He's funded Ukraine. Fine, I hear all of that. But guess what? We're in charge now. The adults are coming back. Real reformists trying to get our country back on track are coming in. So are you going to work with them, you moron? Because we can't do everything at once. That's not how any of this works. You take steps. You move forward. Everybody knows this. If you're a coach in sports and you're down 20, you don't get the 20 back all at once. In football, that means 3 touchdowns. So it's one step at a time. If you're down 20 in basketball, that's 10 baskets minimum to tie. You have to go step by step. We are behind. We have people in who are going to move it forward. We're not going to get everything at once. It's going to take time. And by taking time, it means you take the wins you can get and you move the ball forward. You just keep moving forward. That's what winning teams do. Idiots, and I'm going to use a sports analogy again because it's very apt. If you're down and you try to go for it on every play and you're down 20 and you still have a full half left and you think you just need to throw Hail Marys on every play or nothing because nothing else scores, then you're an effing moron and you'll get beat by 45-50. Thomas Massie right now is a effing moron. I'm not going to say the word, but he pissed me off. And this is how I know he's a total fraud, despite his ideals or whatever. Those I have nothing against. It's the fact that he's not doing anything to change the game. But here we go. Thomas Massie. He was one of the votes to give Joe Biden an unlimited debt ceiling for 1.5 years in the deal with Kevin McCarthy. Thomas Massie, libertarian, fiscal hawk, gave him carte blanche on the budget for 1.5 years so Janet Yellen could sell the crap out of treasury bonds and inflate the market and fund all their stuff. Thomas Massie voted for that. How the hell is that somebody who has principles? And now he won't vote for Mike Johnson, who Trump asked for to get stuff through? Are you kidding me? It's unbelievable. This is what frauds do. This alone is enough, but it's not the only thing. He voted for Tom Emmer. So his radical rebel vote was for Tom Emmer. I don't know if you guys know who Tom Emmer is, but Tom Emmer is a total rhino moderate, way worse than Mike Johnson. Way worse. We almost had him in the speaker fight when McCarthy left. It was between Mike Johnson, Emmer, and Jim Jordan. And listen, Jim Jordan on paper and with his speaking sounds like the best, but he's kind of a fraud too. Hate to tell you guys, but it's just how it is. There's a guy who talks a great game and never gets anything done. So Emmer, though, does get stuff done, just not for our side. Here's Emmer's Liberty scorecard. This is like one of the big Republican scorecards on how they vote. 69% D. That's who Thomas Massie wanted to vote for. Thomas Massie, libertarian, hardcore. Are you kidding me? Here's Mike Johnson's conservative review liberty score. 74. Not great. Only 5% better. But it is better. It is better. And so if Mike Johnson's not good enough for Thomas Massie, old idealist Thomas Massie, how the hell is Emmer good for him? This stuff pisses me off. This is politics. This is the stuff, and the libertarians are out there, and the fiscal hawks on the Republican side out there. Thomas Massie is the greatest. Thomas Massie is the hero. Everybody should be like Thomas Massie. Fine. In a perfect world, I would love that too. Because if we had everybody be Thomas Massie, then maybe they would actually vote to get something done. Maybe they would actually have to put up on their ideals. But no, Thomas Massie doesn't have to. He gets to live that libertarian party life where they get 2% of the vote and they just bitch and moan about everything and never actually do the work to get anything done. They pop up every 4 years, say, hey, we hate everything you're doing. And then they go run off out in the wilderness, out in their farms, whatever, because they don't want to be involved. They just want a government to leave them alone, which I get. But the only way you get that is to actually do the work and get involved. Thomas Massie is their guy for that, because they feel like, well, we got at least somebody out there who's going to say no to everything. Okay, it doesn't get anything accomplished. Even today, it didn't stop the speaker from going through. It's just so stupid. It pisses me off. And so I'm done. I'm done with the Thomas Massie thing. Unless this guy completely, and listen, I'm sorry about his wife. God bless. That's horrific what happened to his wife. 6 months ago, she passed away. That's terrible. It's not a personal attack on his ideals, anything. It's him as a politician. He's feckless. He's weak. And it seems like strength, but it's not. Strength is actually getting the work done. Strength is having to compromise to move the ball forward. Strength is not just putting your foot down. You know who's really good at putting their foot down and not moving? A 5-year-old who's not getting their way. Thomas Massie, you are a little baby. You're a little baby, and all the other little babies are celebrating with you because you made a statement. Good for you, Thomas Massie. Unfortunately, it makes you completely worthless to anything that's trying to be done in America right now to actually get our country back on track. And so I hope we can come up with a strong contender and primary his ass and get him out of here, because I'm done. I just can't do it anymore. So if you guys were Thomas Massie fans, I'm sorry. I used to want to be one. I used to mostly like him, but this is it. He fought with Trump on stuff before, which back in I don't need anybody to be a complete yes man. Okay. If you severely disagree with your leader, that's fine. The stuff that Massie was disagreeing with Trump on, I was like, I can kind of see it back 4 years ago. I didn't agree with it, but this is stupid. This is something where you're just throwing a wrench. And then the fact that you voted on that debt ceiling raise, all that, the Tom Emmer thing, that doesn't even make sense. So it pisses me off. And I had to get that rant out and expose him, because I know there's a lot of people who don't see it or don't know, because he talks a good game. So, all right, let me catch up with you guys before we go to the next segment. Wicked says, don't erase Biden's legacy. We need to show history what adult he was since Carr's gone. Well, that's a good point. But he doesn't deserve praise like they had in Scranton. They have President Barack Obama Parkway in Orlando. Oh, God, that's terrible. Massey's from the Joe Walsh School. Oh, that makes sense. Joe Walsh, who's fully gone over to the Democratic side and is now just bashing Trump and the Republicans at every chance, even though he apparently is a conservative, and yet he's hanging out with the Democrats. Make that make sense. What a do, the one? What's up, Danny? Please like, share, subscribe again, guys, if you don't mind. I appreciate it. Kat saying Newt Gingrich was pissed after the 3 didn't vote for Johnson, and Gingrich knows how to get stuff done. So Brett says, big question is, what did Massie receive in return for the unlimited debt ceiling? I don't know. And that's a great question. You know, as far as I know, all he got was that flipping, he was loyal to, he was loyal to McCarthy for some reason. I don't know. It was really strange. Matmo says, does Trump want to remove the debt ceiling? Yes, but that's not the point, Matmo. Okay, so let's talk about the debt ceiling for 1 second. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I got other stuff to get to, but the debt ceiling, it's kind of insane. Okay, think about it. It's like it's a tool that's only useful for the minority party. Okay, that's it. It's a way for the party in the minority to have some control, to put the brakes on stopping the person who's getting stuff done. That's it. That's all. Okay. It's a fake limit that's not constitutional. Everything we're doing with our finances isn't constitutional anyways, but it's not constitutional. It's not something they have to do. They created it so the minority party could have a way of saying stop. So what the Republicans did in 2023 in the summer, right before McCarthy got his ass ousted, he made a deal with Biden that as we raise the debt limit this time, we'll raise it till January 2025. And guess what? They didn't put an amount on it. So for a year and a half, there was no debt ceiling whatsoever. Instead, they put a date on it instead of an amount. Usually what happens, there's an amount set and you start hitting that amount, and guess what? Then you got to do the fight all over again to raise it. And this always is a way of them to trade, to broker deal, all that. Trump is like, I don't want to play the game. I don't want to play the game. I got to get stuff done. You guys, I cannot get a budget. I cannot get a balanced budget right now. I cannot stop spending over right now because of what I've inherited. It's impossible. So if I want to get stuff done, I have to be able to increase the debt temporarily in order to get things in order, get stuff done. So then we can actually tackle it. It's going to take time. It's kind of like when a business is failing and you finally got a great game plan and you're like, we just need one more infusion of cash. You borrow that amount, you build the business back up, and all of a sudden the business is humming, and then you can pay down the debt. That's what Trump wants to do. That's why he wants to get rid of the debt. He doesn't want to have to fight with the Democrats every 6 months to a year of his entire presidency over this thing. And it makes perfect sense. He should want to be rid of it. He should. It's not, fair is the wrong word. Nothing's fair in politics, but it's not right is the word. He shouldn't have to play the stupid games with the Democrats. And so he wants it lifted. I see two reasons why he wants it lifted. A, I already told you the first one. B, it's that our system's so jacked, might as well, maybe might as well just go all out, break the system with so much spending. We have to default, reset the system. That might be the other way he's going about it. I don't know his thinking, but I can tell you that both make sense. All right. So I hope that helps. Okay. Jordan is a fraud, doesn't get anything done. See, I'm not the only one who thinks this. Donna agrees. Did Tom Emmer try to get specific electoral college votes thrown out in 2020? I don't know. Maybe. Toe Cramp says 100% behind the strategy. Eric says Bernie and Massie should start their own party. Maybe. They might get along. Little bosom buddies. Hit the like. Thank you, Mark. Please like. Take your second and just like. Dustin, I am buying XRP. I've already started accumulating. So thank you, Dustin. What's up, Pedro? How you doing? Yeah, Donna, we got a cut. I agree. So, yeah, what's up, JR? Good to see you, man. I know, rookie numbers. They don't like my video tonight, apparently. It's only 48 likes. It's too many Thomas Massie fans in here. They don't like me harping on them. Okay, next story. This was big Franzia for everyone. You get a box wine and you get a box wine. I love it. That's awesome. By the way, as I was talking about likes, it just made me think about the channel for a second. Guys, I hate bringing this up, but if you have been thinking about joining the channel, I really encourage you to just go ahead and do it for the $3 because you'll get the members lives. It's going to be every Wednesday night starting next week. Will be members lives. And then also access to the Discord for only $3 a month. The other thing is, and I hate to even bring this up, but YouTube's been absolutely crushing me lately on the channel revenue has actually been cut in half since middle of last year. They're demonetizing my videos left and right all over again. And because there's been a lot of sensitive topics, I guess. So if you guys would, join, if you've been thinking about it, that $3, it's a lot of value for what it is. But anyways, just again, I'm getting crushed on the YouTube lately, and I've been trying not to talk about it. I just thought it'd turn around, but it's not. So YouTube's crushing me, and the memberships are keeping me able to keep doing this, just to be honest with you, because the ad revenue is just completely dried up. So if you guys are thinking about that, I greatly appreciate it. You can hit the join button right there. And if you just can't for whatever reason, if even $3 is a stretch right now, I get it. Please subscribe. Okay. Please subscribe and maybe share the videos. So, anyways, that's it on there. And I'm actually even thinking about if I hit a certain number of members, I need a little bit, I need it to climb a little bit, but if I can hit a certain number, then I might even just turn the ads off completely. So anyways, just, letting you, just wanted to throw that out there. And if you are a member, just go ahead and write in the chat if you think it's worth it or not. Toe Cramp says, totally a bargain. Been a member for 2 years, and Discord is fun. Discord's awesome. Yeah. So, okay, let's get to it. So Sean Ryan today. Oh, Donkey, thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. Donkey with a $10 donation. Let's get Ace back on top if I'm able. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. So that's awesome, Donkey. On the Sean Ryan podcast today, he had this guy on who apparently got an email from, I can't remember the guy's name. The guy who blew up the Tesla Cybertruck. So I'm not going to play this clip. It's 5 minutes long, a little longer than I want to play, but here's the letter right here. And it's pretty crazy. All right. So let's go through a little bit of what it says here. If this letter from the alleged Tesla bomber is real, explains the UAP presence on the East Coast, essentially catastrophic disclosure of what we're dealing with. He talks about anti-gravity drones, talks about driving down to Mexico. It's a wild one. So Todd Earhart with the 5 memberships. Thank you, Todd. That's so awesome. You guys, I appreciate you guys so much. See, you guys just step up immediately, and I greatly appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to read this real quick. I have to actually lean forward. It's a little small, but let me read this email that Sean Ryan read. And then I'm going to talk about why I think it actually might be a psyop, but let's talk about that in a second. It says, in case, this is from the guy who blew up the Cybertruck in front of Trump Tower. In case I don't make it to my decision point or on the Mexico border, I'm saying this now. Don't release this until January 1st. Keep my identity private until then. First off, I'm not under duress or hostile influence or control. My first car is an 06 Black Ford Mustang for V6 for verification. What we've been seeing with drones is the operational use of gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft by most recently China and the East Coast, but throughout history, the U.S. Only we in China have this capability. So he's saying that the drones are some like crazy magnetic technology that only us and the China have. China's been launching them from the Atlantic from submarines for years. This activity recently picked up. As of now, it's just a show of force, and they're using it similar to how they use the balloon, which are part of integrated comm system. The SOA is because of the speed and stealth of these unmanned aircraft. They are the most dangerous threat to national security that has ever existed. Blah, blah, blah. I've been followed for over a week now from likely Homeland or FBI. They're looking to move on me and are unlikely going to let me cross into Mexico, but won't because they know I'm armed and have a massive VBI EED, which is a vehicle with an explosive in it. I've been trying to maintain a very visible profile, kept my phone, blah, blah, blah. I have knowledge of this program and also war crimes covered up during airstrikes in Nimrod's province, Afghanistan, 2019 by the admin. So he's saying that the DOD, DEA, and CIA in the Trump administration did illegal strikes in Afghanistan, conducted targeting for these strikes of over 125 buildings, killed hundreds of civilians in a single day. And it just keeps going on this. You need to elevate this to the media so we avoid a world war because it's mutually assured destruction. For vetting, my LinkedIn is Matt Berg or Matthew Livelsberger. So we have this crazy bombshell email that is telling us about the drones, talking about World War, indicting the Trump administration, or at least on his watch, all these war crimes. Just big bombshell, right? This is a kind of thing that, if true, this is just like, this could change a lot. There's nothing in here about why he went to Trump Tower and blew it up or tried to blow it up, but that, says, but it keeps going. So let me talk about why I'm highly skeptical of the contents of this letter. Real quick. Hobbs says he didn't off himself. Someone else did. Stuck him in the Cybertruck, set auto drive. I do think that's very possible. Matt Mo says, I had a schizophrenic roommate in my 20s. This sounds like him. Elon's team says self-drive mode not in use. Well, that I actually trust over the FBI. They've linked him to New Orleans and Mar-a-Lago guys too. I covered that last night because the Fort Bragg stuff dropped TF, but thank you for that. Okay. First of all, MK Truth Ultra posts this, which is a great point. Cybertruck bomber Matthew Livelsberger was a reality TV star. Well, that's always kind of a red flag, right? He was on some show, I think it was on the History Channel with his brother doing a competition several years ago. But when they have Hollywood ties, producer ties, they've been in that. That's always interesting. Always interesting. So we have that, which kind of, in my opinion, and the Fort Bragg stuff, which we already covered, that already makes me think maybe this guy didn't have it all together, or maybe he's working for the other side. Maybe there's some MK Ultra kind of weird stuff going on. Who knows? All right, let's keep going. This is the FBI says we have strong evidence email shared on Sean Ryan's show was sent before the explosion, just 1 hour after Sean Ryan released this. Now, isn't that interesting that the FBI would rush to claim that it's legit? Does anybody here trust the FBI? I don't think I do. I just, when was the last time the FBI would rush to confirm anything like this? They're usually hiding everything from us. So that's strange. Thomas Dubois is here. Hey, oh, hold on. We got to stop everything for a second here. Thomas has got big news. Thomas says, I made it in friends. Great news. My cancer is in remission. No more chemo and only immunotherapy. Thank you for your prayer. Bro. Thomas, man, that's so amazing, buddy. I'm so happy. I'm so happy for you, man. That's so awesome. Guys, prayer works. That's amazing. Thomas, wow. Hey, Tom, if I don't remember correctly, I remember you thinking it was probably pretty serious and it was going to be very tough to get news like this. Am I correct in saying that? Anyways, man, thank God for you. That's awesome, buddy. That's so awesome. Wow. That's amazing. That's so cool. Thomas, we love you. And that's so awesome. I don't even know what else to say other than God's good and you're a fighter and you deserve all this and so much better going forward, buddy. So God bless you, man. So happy for you. Wow. You get me emotional, man. That's awesome. So for those who are newer, Thomas found out, was it spring, early summer, about all this and started going into it. So, wow. And we've just been praying for him this whole time and hearing his experiences. So that's incredible. So Thomas, God bless you, man. Thank you for coming on, Sharon. That's awesome. Just more good news. That's awesome. All right. Thanks, Tom. Okay. Let me see if I can continue. That's so awesome, man. Okay. So, FBI, this seems so small now compared to news like that, but I still have a show to do, buddy. I still have a show to do. I'm getting a little verklempt. Sean Ryan email and Tesla Cybertruck discuss. Oh man. Okay. All right. So, Jordan Sather brings all this stuff up about the email, and I got to agree with everything he says here. Questions. Some of the drones we saw clearly had wings and propellers. Why does he insinuate they're all gravitic craft from China? Listen, I totally... We saw all the pictures of the drones, all the videos. He's absolutely right about that. It doesn't seem like that is even possible, that they could have been, because when it's magnetic, it's like the levitate. And Mike, you kill me. I'll share that a little bit. It's the levitating. It's like they move any which way because the gravity it's not propulsion. They're not moving with propellers. They're not moving in the same direction all the time. They wouldn't be as noisy. It's very different. It would look very different than what we saw. What we saw looked just like run-of-the-mill drones, except they were huge. That's what it looked like. Again, he says, calling them gravitic propulsion systems powered aircraft, quite retarded language from someone with UAP access. I love Jordan, man. He just calls it like it is. What evidence do we have these drones were gravitic in nature? That's a great point. We had evidence to suggest most of the drones were testing craft from Pickaninny Arsenal in New Jersey. Now they're from China. Great point. If these drones are from gravitic craft from China submarines launched for years, our military somehow didn't know about this. Exactly. It's like they wouldn't be shooting them down. We wouldn't have been talking about it more. Unmanned aircraft are the most dangerous threat to our national security has ever existed. He says not nukes. Exactly. Basically, you have unlimited payload capacity. How the hell is this possible? They have to be quite small to load onto submarines. It's all makes so much sense. Wasn't he on leave from Germany, but he's trying to cross the border into Mexico, going AWOL? If he has knowledge of supposed war crimes, why go public now? Why would someone in 10th Special Forces Group have UAP access? Yeah, I agree with all that. And let me add to that. How about the fact that once the holidays started, they all disappeared? China doesn't give a rip about that. China only cares about their New Year. Why would they care about our Christmas and everything? China doesn't care. So that makes no sense why they just stopped all of a sudden. And on top of that, why the hell, with Trump coming in, why would China want to start ratcheting things up? It just takes a little logic, takes 2 seconds of thinking to realize that makes no sense. So 4 years of Biden and Trump's now coming in as their economy is collapsing. They've got plenty to worry about over there in China. They're just going to start messing with us with Trump coming in. Are you kidding me? They haven't even had the guts to go take over Taiwan, which we know they've wanted to do. And yet now they're flexing their muscles at us. None of this makes sense. And again, because the FBI immediately confirms the email's legit. I mean, come on. Are you serious? This is so stupid. None of it makes sense. And, it's like, I'm a little bummed. I like Sean Ryan. I think he's got a great podcast, does great work. The fact that he didn't ask any of these questions really break this down, at least not in the podcast I watched. And now Sean's said he's packed up his family for a couple days because he's worried about the heat coming from this. It's like, really? Because as soon as I heard this, I was like, wait, what? Some of this doesn't sound right. This doesn't make sense to me. And you're telling me 2 weeks before the inauguration, we're going to all of a sudden accuse them of war crimes? None of this adds up. None of it adds up. It's like Sather said in his post, it sounds like fear porn. It sounds like an attempt to try to get the people turned on Trump. Again, maybe try to ratchet stuff up with China. We know they're trying to get us into war. They want war with Iran and whatever else they can do to mess with China, mess with Trump's as he comes in, give him a big, huge load of steaming crap to start his presidency with. But this just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Where's Linda Richmond? Rob Mitchke, where there are many different types of drones spotted. Maybe it's our guys running drones to confuse the Chinese drone. It's possible. I mean, I definitely think it was our guys doing the drones. Brett says those drones were just Hunter's crack deliveries. That's awesome. Matthew Parker says, Chinese balloon went halfway across our country without being shot down. There you go. And then it took a missile to take him down. Thomas writes, prayers worked in my opinion. I can't believe I made it through the 6 rounds of chemo. I had been a non-believer. That all changed when I heard a voice. On my first round lasted 5 days straight. I'm now a believer. Praise God. Oh my God. That's awesome, Thomas. What a story you got. Brother, I hope you write all this down and make sure it gets shared with the world, or record a video or something, because you got quite the story, brother. That's awesome. So cool. Vincent's 10 cents a day. He's promoting my membership. Thank you, man. We love you too, Thomas. We're so happy for you, bro. False Flag City. I agree. War is the plan. Exactly. Diane says exactly as well. Wicked. The feds act like they're writing another Hollywood script and forget this real life. Exactly. It's 100% true. Yeah, 100%. Mark, I'm at crypto.com. Crypto.com. That's what my buddy steered me towards, which I'm trying to get him back on, and he wanted to come on, and it was the holidays, and then now his kid he said he's entering the terrible twos and he's having trouble at night. So I'm gonna try to have him on soon. Crypto Cruise, talk crypto. But okay, let's move on from that. Anyways, I think that's pretty clear. If you believe that email and everything they're going through on that, that's fine. I don't think anybody's stupid for believing it. But I do think we definitely got to be scrutinizing all of this, and we have to be skeptical, especially when it comes, when the FBI is confirming it, that sort of thing. There's just so much psyops going on right now. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, be wary, use your logic, use what you do know for sure. Trust your eyes when you've seen stuff like the drones, and use footage, and just use all that to be like, how does this make sense based on everything? And just question. That's what we always have to do until we get the truth, or until enough evidence comes together for us to have solid conclusions. I'm just so grateful that, guys, we're 3 days away from Trump's certification now. We have the House taken care of, the House Speaker. It's going to happen. And then the inauguration, Trump can be sworn in anywhere. So he's going to get in. We're there. It's happening. And so we got 2 weeks, 17 days to be exact. And all of a sudden we're going to have people in charge we can trust again, which is such a good feeling. But as of right now, I don't trust a damn thing they say. Today, Judge Merchan from the New York case came out, and he finally figured out how he's going to handle this. Okay, he's going to handle this situation with Trump since he became president and the Supreme Court did everything. He's going to leave the conviction, because guess what? They couldn't live with themselves if they could not continue to call Trump a felon. So he's decided, instead of pushing it off, instead of waving away the case, he's going to sentence him. But it's not going to be to prison. He's going to give him, I can't remember the exact wording of it, but it's basically saying, you're still a felon, everything holds up that they said, but you're not going to serve any time. And it's indefinite. So he's never going to have to do time over this. But they found their way to make sure he gets to just keep being called a felon, which is all the Democrats are going to be rejoicing about this. The other side, though, is it does say that he's going to be open for appeal. But here's what's jacked up about this. He waited till now, so it's only 10 days before the inauguration. So he can kind of, Judge Merchan is a total narcissist. This way he gets to get some attention right before Trump's inauguration, throw this at Trump, and it also forces Trump to show up to have his sentence read to him. So it's just messed up. No ankle bracelet. He won't have anything on him. It's just, the sentencing is going to be, you basically did your time. But you're still a felon. That's kind of the way it's going to be. It's the only way they could get away with Trump being president and them still keeping him called a felon. Because once Trump is executive in chief of the entire country and over all law enforcement in the country, that's what the president is. He's got a lot of options. So this way they kind of lock in their verdict in the history books unless it's overturned on appeal. And that's what they wanted. That was their big win. That's all they got left. And so they couldn't get Trump in prison. They couldn't bankrupt him. They couldn't do any of the things they wanted to do. But you know what? Damn it. They get to call him a felon unless it's overturned on appeal. And so they're going to be like, well, we got to win. And they're high-fiving in the back because this is all they got left, guys. This is all they have left. They're losing everything that matters. They're losing all their hopes and dreams. So they just needed something to celebrate. And it's going to be hilarious watching all the libs high-fiving, doing their things like Trump is still a felon. Ha, ha, ha. Like they're just going to go nuts about it for a week. And it just shows you how weak-minded their side is and how desperate they are for anything. Country Computer says, if you subscribe to Ace's channel, you get to join the Discord. If you join the Discord, you get to hang out with me all day. That's awesome. Tokram says, the FBI is a Jim Cramer of the intel community. Whatever they say, opposite's true. I love it. That's hilarious. Brett, drones are inside deal. Drones under Part 91 of Federal Aviation Administration regulations are civil aircraft that weigh 55 pounds or more, which means they have to have a transponder. Interesting. That's interesting. Yes, now Trump can appeal. That's right, Mike. Ficus says, this sounds risky. One last chance to have access to him prior to him going to White House. Well, that's an interesting point, Ficus. I hadn't thought about that. Yeah, we'll see. But I will tell you that they are the security around Trump is going to be second to none ever, so Todd says that makes us look like a banana republic. You're right. I agree. Yeah. They say convicted felon. That's right, Hobbs. They love to throw that in there. Convicted felon. Donald Trump, who we've never seen anything like this in our politics before. There's never been a president taken it as a convicted felon before, which is not completely true. In England, a lot of our founding fathers would have been looked at as felons in their way or criminals. So we had our founding fathers were all criminals to the crown. Just saying. So we're a country founded on criminals. That's one way of thinking about it. Vin, you sent me a video. Okay, I'll get to it in a minute. All right, and then I just want to end on this as my last little story for the night. But just more evidence that our economy is in dire straits and they are just attacking this country from all ends to ruin things for Trump. But currently the U.S. banking reserves are below $3 trillion to their lowest level since 2020. That means liquidity is going bye-bye, friends. Liquidity is drying up quick. This just means that the banking system, our stock market, everything is being pushed. It's being stressed to the bones. I mean, to the max. It's the Fed is not intervening like it has in the past. The Treasury has used up all their bonds, and they're warning that we're going to run out of money. And like basically as soon as Trump's in, I mean, they're just trying to set him up. So we just need, we just, Trump's going to need a lot of prayer. And as we saw with Thomas, prayer works. When he comes in, because our country is just headed for a total mess. But the good news is the right person is in charge to help fix it. So, what did you send me, Vin? I can't play this. It's a show clip. It'll bust me. So I found out something because I like to show clips on here. It said I can't show clips more than 5 seconds on YouTube anymore. That's one thing they hit me for, which I always edit those out after I do the live so that the video can stay up. But just saying, I got to be more strict with that. But that'll be fixed if I can get enough members to cut off the commercials, to cut off ads. Then I can show whatever I want. But as long as I'm running ads, they're stricter with me on that. I still can't say everything I want, but. Country, if the IRS get their way, we'll be convicted felons. Yeah, you're right. Wicked, I have to end the show with Cocaine Mitch having his name tag removed. His name tag removed? Oh, beautiful. For House Majority Leader? Okay, well, this is something to celebrate. Mitch McConnell. This is his door, his office as Senate Majority Leader. John Thunes is going up. Did it show Mitch is going down? It just showed Mitch Thune's going up, but the very first thing he takes up, oh well, he's just been up. But yeah, Mitch McConnell's gone, so that's beautiful. Massie's the best thing to happen to Congress. Yeah, it's the best thing to happen to Congress. Can't get a damn thing done, huh? Because all he does is vote no on everything except for raising the debt ceiling for Joe Biden. So that makes sense, buddy. That makes sense. I'm glad though. I'm glad I got one person riled up on this tonight. Everybody else was so nice tonight. Todd, SEC withholding GameStop FTD data. Looks like we're close. It's very possible. Something's going on with the meme stocks for sure. I definitely believe that's coming. Matthew, you forgot your Apple password. You don't need your Apple password, Matthew. Yeah, for people on Apple, if you do want to join the channel, the only thing is you can't do it on your YouTube app on your Apple phones or on your tablets or whatever. Apple and Google hate each other. So because Google refuses to share revenue with Apple, they don't allow Apple users to join channels from the app. So you have to go into your browser, set on desktop mode, and if you're on a phone or an iPad, go into your browser, set it on desktop mode, go to YouTube, type in my channel, and then you can join that way. So it's the mess that Google and Apple pull with each other because YouTube's owned by Google. Todd Earhart with 5 more memberships. Thank you, Todd. That's awesome, man. Thank you. Uncle Andy, MM, Hump, Connie Live, and Kurt's the Horizon. That's awesome. Love it. Kryptonian says in a week they've already cut the Fed's $500 billion reverse repo influx in half. They're run dry. Exactly. Brett, they had new short sale rules going into effect today. Sure, Kenny Boy's already figured out a way. They're ready for it. You better believe it. That's not going to change anything. What's up, Lyrical? Yeah, you're about to miss me. I'm heading out, but go GameStop go, says Tucker. Hey, if GameStop goes, a lot more are going too. So, stock market finally got a green day today. We'll follow it closely next week and see what the trends are now that the holidays are over. But anyways, guys, that's it. Let's close out in a prayer because obviously it works. And we'll start with a prayer of thanksgiving for Thomas and his diagnosis. That's incredible. And then obviously pray for what's going on in Washington, D.C. tonight and all this other stuff going on. Our country needs it. So Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God bless everybody here. Thank you for this amazing group. God, thank you for Thomas and the fact that his cancer's in remission. We just thank you for that. Thank you for answering prayer of this community and blessing his body, Lord. And so we just pray that God, it stays there and you give him all the wisdom he needs to just live life to the fullest and enjoy this gift and steward this gift you've given him. So this gift of life. And so we thank you for that. Cancer being removed is such a miracle. So that's amazing. And God, I just bless everybody here, anybody else who's going through anything like that, pain, disease, poverty, anything they're dealing with. I just pray your blessings on them. And God, we pray for our country. Pray for President Trump for wisdom with all the problems he's going to come into, that him and his team are listening to divine wisdom and can solve the impossible problems in the way only you can. And just pray for peace and you just protect everybody these next few weeks until we finally get our country back on track. But thank you for all you've done and are continuing to do. And just miracle after miracle these last few months. And we're so grateful. So thank you, God. Bless everybody here in Jesus' name. Amen. Awesome. All right. Love you guys. NASA Court is now a basic ASOL. Welcome, NASA Court. Thank you for the membership. This is awesome. You guys are so awesome. Please, again, if you're thinking about joining, just please support the channel. I appreciate it very much. Like I said at the beginning, YouTube's just basically getting me nothing anymore on ad revenue. It's almost completely dried up. So the members are, I've lost over half anything that this channel makes. So I don't do it for the money, but the money makes it so I can be here more often. So I'll say that. So thank you guys for all the support. You guys are amazing. God bless you all. And members, I will see you this weekend. So see you soon. Have a great night, guys.